Hello, my 3M family. This is Married, Ministry and Meals, and today I'm going to be making some hamburgers with some onions and mushrooms, sauteed a little bit or a lot of it, because I like mine pretty done. So I'm gonna be supposed to cut up this onion. And today I want to talk about finances. So, a lot of times when you get married, whether you get married when you're younger or you're older or middle-aged, you may be used to having separate finances, and you feel like your stuff is your stuff, and I'm not, I'm not, what's his is mine, and what's mine is mine. Yeah, sometimes you hear people say stuff like that. But when it comes to marriage, you guys are one. You got to work together. You got to be a team. And that team that work together, it includes your finances. A lot of times people think that they can continue to do it like they did when they were younger. If you guys hear any noises or sounds, that's my children around me. They're trying to get ready for bed and school tomorrow. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, they think that, things are supposed to stay the same, and that he's supposed to understand and she's supposed to understand. But the goal is to become one. And it's hard to become one if what's yours is still yours, and what's his is still his. So you kind of got to change your mindset. You got to decide that, okay, we're one in body. We need to be one in our goals and what we're going to do for our home and our children and our family and the life just that you're going to build all together. If you want to build a life, you can't have the mindset that what's mine is mine, and what's his is mine, or what's mine is mine. And, you got to have a mindset that we're going to build this thing together and we're going to do this together. However, a lot of times, the way we were raised and the things that our parents did will have a real big impact on how we come into the marriage and decide we want to do or behave concerning our finances. Next, I went ahead and seasoned the meat. Alright, so I've seasoned up my meat. And I'm fixing to put that in the pan. And then, but I'm not going to put it in the pan first. I'm going to grill up my onions and my mushrooms first. Got a little brown butter situation going on over here. Alright, so I'm going to put my onions in here, and then I'm going to put my mushrooms in here too, so we can just get those started. I'm going to put a little seasoning in mine. I like to put a little seasoning on mine, just, flavor it every stage. At least that's how I like to do it. Not too much, but a little something. I mean, finances are hard in a marriage period, because, most of the time when you're starting out your marriage, you tend to not have a lot of money going into the marriage. So you're trying to build. And if you're building and you're building by yourself and you're not building together, you're not building together, it can take a lot longer to build and to achieve the goals that you have for one another or have with one another. I'm sure home ownership and family and various types of cars, everybody has their little dream wish list of things that they want to accomplish, over time. But when you get married, if these are things that you're still working on, then you got to come together as one, discuss those things, Let them know, you know, especially if you're going to be saving money separate from, you know, your husband or your wife, you know, you want to let them know. You want to make sure you're communicating and letting them know, listen, I want to do this, and I'm going to put away a certain amount for this, so that I can get those things that I want to have, and that I'm trying to accomplish, you know. So it's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna rip my hands off a little bit because it's so grimy to me from that meat and stuff. But then these are things that you have to talk about. You know, you have to tell your partner, your husband or your wife what you're feeling, and let them say their piece. They might not feel like getting a certain type of car or a certain type of item they may not feel like it's the right time. And sometimes they be right. Sometimes what you're wanting right now it's not the time for it. You need to wait until you get some other things situated and in hand. And even if, you know, you don't want to wait, you have to figure out a way to compromise and work it out. You know, I talked about that in one of my other videos. Hopefully you've seen it. If you haven't, you know, just type in. I'm not even sure what I titled it, so I'll have to go back and look. I'll try and maybe link it in the description box for you to go back to. But yeah, you know, those are really the times when, you know, you need to pray, especially if you and your spouse are not in agreement about what you want to do. You definitely need to spend that time in prayer, trying to figure out, okay, is what they want to do or what I want to do the correct decision? Because sometimes waiting is the best decision. Sometimes waiting might not be the best decision. Sometimes God wants to move right in. That's why when you pray about it, you'll be able to hear from God, and He'll be able to tell you exactly how you should move. Also, when I cook my mushrooms, I do put a little seasoning on them, but I also add sometimes a little soy sauce so that I can, I don't know, I just like it to be a certain color. And so I'll add that in there, kind of to help it along. Sometimes, it just depends on if I'm in a rush or not. Sometimes I'll just let it brown up by itself. But I do like to use it, especially when I'm making, yeah, that's fine. When I'm making hamburgers. So, that will go one. Here go two. We're going to let those cook for a little while. And then we'll see what we got in a little bit. So just make sure you're praying about your finances with each other and separately as well. You know, because sometimes He's going to be right and sometimes you're going to be right. But you're going to be wanting to be honest with one another concerning them and discuss your goals and what you're trying to accomplish in the next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 7 years, 8 years, you know, however much time you've given yourself for your goals. Because that'll keep down, it'll keep down a lot of arguments if each of you already know where you stand in that situation. So just make sure you're doing that. All right, I'm going to let these finish cooking, and then I'm going to come back and let y'all see what we got going on. But other than that, I hope you guys have a blessed evening, day, morning, night, or whatever. I don't know when you're watching the video. God bless you. All right, so we finished our hamburger patties, and now we're just going to add our cheese on top so it'll melt nice in the pan, be all nice and juicy. I am a cheddar person and my husband is an American cheese guy, so that's why I'm Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm having camera issues. There we go. So that is the finished product. You guys have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.